Why, hello there, welcome back to Doom and the Golden Souls, or whatever it's called. Today, we're gonna go to Daring Desert. This should have been called Daring Desert. I think that really just shows what kind of alpha we're in. I don't know why it saves my UI settings like that, because I also play on the... Let's use the same version. So it tends to remember that. So here we have the Pokies. As I said last time, we were gonna deal with Pokies now. Pokies are kind of real troublemakers. They can do a lot of damage real fast. If you know how to deal with them, they're not too bad. They're manageable. As you can see, you can only really stand the quicksand for a very short moment. Oh, we're gonna meet up with the worst enemies in the game, aren't we? Yeah. There's also something I want to show you. Is it here? No, it's later. There's a nice little Easter egg in this level, which is kind of a weird Easter egg when you consider the time this was made and released. But we'll get to that when we get to that. And my point is that, for some reason, this might be one of the additions they made, though, because don't forget, this is a salvaged ROM, saved from the archives of the damned. I also don't know when to use the Legend of Soul, the sound effect for that, but who knows. Could be any number of versions. Aha, our new enemy. Taken from Heretic, which I don't think id Software has the license for, so... sure? Like, it's kind of surprising the kind of stuff they pulled. Or maybe, I don't know, the people who made Raiden Soft, was it? The people who made Heretic were the ones that stole it. Who's to say? History is a strange and mysterious thing. There you got some classic Doom action where we've got to find all the switches in order to unlock the ancient Chinese cigarette, or exit in this case. I do appreciate that there's a healthy balance and mixture between classic Mario action and classic Doom action. Now I get a new weapon, we get the Spike Gun. This gun is not so great. It penetrates enemies, which is good, I guess. It bounces off the walls a couple of times, so you get a lot of bang for your buck if you know what you're doing. The only problem with the Spike Gun is it's not that strong. It's described as strong in the description they had on the page where I found this SWAT, but I disagree. I really gotta disagree. It's not that strong, it's not that good. It's really only good against a certain boss later down the line, the Mastermind, when we get to fight him. Still, though, it's impressive that they managed to use a Quake weapon. Oh, did they develop Quake? Maybe they didn't. And if they didn't, then Jesus Christ, man, there's a lot of plagiarism going on in the video game industry that I never knew of. Makes me feel scared and frightened. However, this is also a perfect time to test out the Spike Gun. This is the new enemy. These are Dark Blots. Or Blots if you feel like it. They're very dangerous. Those enemies, once they start touching you, they will slowly but surely consume you, and they don't take any time to do that at all. They appear out of the ground. They're kind of hard to see and hit. They're basically Revenant 2.0s. I do find it very impressive that they managed to get the Pokies to work the way that they did. The thing to note about Dark Blots is they do work in the classical Doom sense of having gravity and mass to them. Also, I looked up a couple of classic Doom, and apparently the modern engines are not that much different. Like, they really are faithful recreations of the classic Doom experience, which is very impressive. I always thought that there were a lot of stipulations they made to make it more playable, but as you can see, if you know how to line up your shots, you can get a lot of bang for your buck. I'm not inclined to take a hit just for demonstrative purposes here. I can't seem to quite remember where all the coins are, though. This floor doesn't go anywhere, does it? No. I don't remember... two? Oh, wait, I think I know. We already missed one. This one opens up at a certain point. Ah, thank goodness. Ah, frick. The sun decides to come out. That's gonna ruin my ability to record. Because the sun is literally shining straight at my face. And that's very annoying. That's like the worst kind. Ah, this is actually much nicer now. I really like the yellow aesthetic they went for in this level. Like, Doom was just a masterpiece of atmospheric design, and you can see that id Software decided to translate their skills with Doom into skills for a Mario game, which I find very, very telling of just how skilled and masterful those people are. They can go from making a spooky shooter game to making a more classical Mario experience with Doom elements mixed in. This is where you're extremely likely to get killed, because these bloods are very, very annoying. There's a coin. Okay, I know where all the coins are now. There's a coin. There's a dark blot. You want to dive in here. But don't forget the thing that I learned years ago. When you feel scared or frightened, always remember happy days. But yeah, I think it's kind of interesting that they decided to go with the desert world in the first level of the second world. And I think that's a good old-fashioned throwback, as they call it, to the old Mario days. They wanted to have a desert level in there, so they made a desert level. I still don't get these particular cockroaches, like what they're supposed to be. Maybe I should get killed by one to figure out its name. Yeah, because it doesn't really give you anything with messages. Now, unfortunately, these enemies are quite common, but they are not the most annoying enemies. It's actually an enemy that's a little bit more annoying than these guys. So if you're already frustrated with these guys, don't worry, there's a worse one waiting down the line. Ah, man, I love this. Such a good sterling example of good old-fashioned video game design. I'm kind of surprised they went for the Doom 2 engine of all things, you know? Like, you think... I mean, I know the whole point was to cross some bridges, build some public relations and all that kind of stuff, you know, establish a more strong American market by making American games, or games that Americans want to play. I understand that motivation, but I would not have been the one to say Doom is the one you want to go with. Here's a secret wall. And with that, we have all the coins. We get a little applause. We get to be proud of ourselves. We are proud boys. Very proud boys. You must notice we have a lot of coins, and, oh, you can see it from here. We're going to give him a close-up in a moment, because the classic Doom cheat codes still work, because this is, they did use the Doom 2 engine directly. They did not, they didn't cheat. Yeah. I like how they removed exactly one brick. So, this man, in case you couldn't see it from there, is Serious Sam. Very strange. I'm going to believe a lot, but I understand Serious Sam is known for his desert levels, and desert aesthetics, especially in the new game. But was Serious Sam even in development when this game was? Because, putting aside all the logic that comes with these kinds of games... Also, I love that they had to edit this slightly for some reason. Putting aside all aesthetic questions... oh, cool, there's a crack in the wall here, too. That's pretty cool, because it makes sense. This was made in Croatia. I don't know how the people from id Software had knowledge about Serious Sam that they could throw a reference in. Like, I don't know when this game was developed. I mean, it was just found eventually, somewhere in 2010, so... It's basically like the Nintendo PlayStation, you know? It's one of those ancient relics, and no one's quite sure about what to think of it. Pokies don't come back too much. They are not a staple enemy, because, you know, they're a desert enemy, and I guess Nintendo was very strict on the thematic appropriateness of the situation. I think it might be beneficial to buy in some new armor. And I can't open the top door quite yet. I need 2 more golden souls before that's an option. I'll buy some golden armor. Some 200% armor is what it calls. I don't know if it's mega armor or not. I guess it is. I guess it is like straight up mega armor. And here we get something very strange. We'll get to this next time, but let me just tell you, I'm very surprised they went for that aesthetic. And yeah, we get another classic level. We get the one from Super Mario Brothers. From Mario 64. We get the Ghost House, and just like any Ghost House, it's got some good toys. Like, this is made like the modern Ghost Houses, too. Like, that's the part I love the most, is this is classic Ghost House. And immediately we get to meet up with the most annoying enemy ever. The Lost Souls Boos! They are annoying as hell. You have to look away from them to become hittable, and they only move when you don't look at them. So they're basically Boos meet Lost Souls. A good weapon against them is a spike gun, but you gotta know how to fucking shoot that thing to use it. Excuse me for my language. This is a Nintendo zone. I need to keep things kid-friendly. Actually, this is not that bad. Yeah, this is really kind of good, actually. It's also pretty ammo conservative compared to my usual tactics. Ha! As you can see, the enemies are very much aware of when they can and cannot be seen. Another good weapon is the Kalashnikov, because you can stun them. And they can take them out that way. Ah! See, this is how this usually goes. As you can see, they are solid enough that they can't pass through walls. That's not going to do any major favors. And that takes care of it. So here we get a lovely coffin. I'm very surprised that Nintendo allowed for this. In case you don't know, Nintendo of America was very strict on religious references and any sort of stuff. So I'm extremely surprised that Nintendo of America basically allowed them to put in a cross at all. Like, those people were uptight. They had a stick up their ass from here to Tuesday. And I'm very surprised that they allowed that particular cross reference. Maybe they were like, it's not a big one. We can let that one stay. This one's pretty cool. So we can touch this. And we can summon an enemy. You may notice that the door looks like a door. But the mirror is false. And the reasoning for that will become apparent pretty damn soon. Though here it doesn't seem to be visible. I remember. Because we have to do something first. Okay, so there's a clue for that. I'll wait until the clue becomes visible. Oh, that's right. You see, the Kalashnikov really is the weapon you want to use here. I'm going to sneeze at some point. Okay, you can summon them on the mirror side too. Yeah, but the way you're supposed to figure this out is, at some point, I remember this painting going open, and you could actually see it inside. Maybe that happens at some point, who knows. Well, look, we'll come back after a little bit. Have I done the downstairs door yet? Oh, this one's pretty cool. I think this leads to the library. Yeah, this leads to the library. Let's actually take care of one tiny thing first before we do that. See, like straight hallways, the spike gun is amazing because you effectively get double bang for your buck. I'm very impressed by some of these ghost house tricks. Like, especially the mirror was the one that got me. That one was like, wow, that's pretty clever. I was really impressed when I could walk through the mirror and found myself entertained by the realities that be. I like how there's a moving floor. That's freaking awesome. Ah, my freaking elbow hurts like hell. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's on the edge of the table or something. I don't know. They are harmless when they are in their ghost form. They're just very frustrating to deal with otherwise. Not much going on in this library, huh? That is our queue, actually, but we want to go up here first because there's a red coin to pick up. You may notice that that bookcase looks a little bit different. Don't worry about that bookcase for now. The way to open it is actually quite obtuse, and it is part of a required secret. If you want to get 100%, that is. We're actually going to want to book it in a moment. Like straight up, unapologetically book it. Also, it's very impressive that they decided to quite literally invent the jumping mechanic for this game. Because don't forget, original Doom did not support any sort of running. And that's how you get another coin. We need one more coin. I forgot where it was. I do find this one the better sequence. And I do like that the people behind id Software were like, listen, we understand that this is probably going to be one of more 2 sequence, so let's make it a little bit easier for the player. I like that one. It's a nice musical reference to the old Doom games, and now I have all the coins, so this one's pretty cool. The hints are the dark plots. Are they? Yeah, the hints are the dark plots. They'll tell us where to go. See, look at how fast my health drains once I pick on these suckers. They're lethal. Ah, frick. Now the golden soul appears in the most logical place it would. Except not really, I guess. Sure, whatever. Not the place I would have gone with. But I guess I'm not a video game developer or anything. I didn't make this. I think we're almost done with this video, actually, because it has been 60 minutes and we've gotten 2 golden souls, made a good bit of progress. And we've seen a lot. I still love this reference. Like, it's really impressive how they designed this. Like, this took a lot of work to make. They even had, like, another thing is, in Doom, you didn't have multi-layers like this. You couldn't make this kind of stuff. Like, they made all of this just to get Nintendo on board. I guess they really wanted to show their best. Or maybe they were just curious on trying some things. Maybe this is where Quake's systems came from. And this gun came from, you know. Like, they were testing some things out for Quake. Although Quake had a very odd development cycle. It's very mysterious. Very mysterious. Anyway, next time, we're going into a painting. And, I think this is another one of those creative moments that someone at the office had. Maybe it was id Software, maybe it was with Nintendo. We don't know who made this next one, because again, a lot of the credits are kind of gone. The next one is Starry Night. I don't know who made this. I need to look that up. A couple of Starry Night facts won't hurt anyone. As you can see, Starry Night is amazing. It is a very, very strong aesthetic. Like, it knew what it wanted to do and how to do it, and trust me when I say it, this is going to be a real nice one. And it also has a secret exit. I forgot what the secret was for this one. We'll see when we get there, but for now, next time we're going to go to Starry Night, which looks just peachy.